Welcome to the Real Crime Diary Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB. Today, we delve into a disturbing case that exposes the darkest corners of the internet. What happens when online communities become breeding grounds for unimaginable cruelty? Brace yourself as we uncover the shocking story of Ronald P. Bedra, an Ohio man recently sentenced for his role in a horrifying monkey torture video conspiracy. This case will make you question the depths of human depravity and the hidden dangers lurking in our digital world. Let's delve into the disturbing details of this case. Ronald P. Bedra, a resident of Etna, Ohio, found himself at the center of a shocking online conspiracy. Bedra wasn't just a passive viewer. He actively commissioned and distributed videos depicting the brutal torture of monkeys. Using encrypted messaging apps, Bedra and his co-conspirators coordinated with individuals in Indonesia, paying them to perform unspeakable acts of cruelty on camera. The nature of this abuse is truly horrifying. These videos showed monkeys, often juveniles or even babies, being subjected to extreme violence. Acts included severing the animal's limbs and digits, and disturbingly, sexually abusing them with objects like heated screwdrivers. Bedra's role went beyond just viewing. He was instrumental in directing specific acts of torture, essentially choreographing the suffering of these innocent creatures. The videos were then shared within a network of like-minded individuals, perpetuating a cycle of cruelty and exploitation that spanned continents. One of the most chilling aspects of this case is how technology was exploited to perpetrate these horrific crimes. Bedra and his co-conspirators relied heavily on encrypted chat apps to coordinate their activities. These platforms, designed to protect user privacy, became a shield for their sinister intentions. By using these encrypted channels, they were able to communicate freely, sharing gruesome requests and coordinating payments without fear of immediate detection. This poses a significant challenge for law enforcement agencies, who often find themselves a step behind, unable to intercept these communications in real time. The conspiracy's reach extended far beyond U.S. borders. Bedra, operating from Ohio, was able to connect with individuals in Indonesia who would carry out the abusive acts on camera. This international aspect of the crime adds layers of complexity to the investigation and prosecution process, highlighting the need for global cooperation in combating such atrocities. Now let's dive into the legal proceedings of this disturbing case. In April of this year, Ronald Bedra took a significant step by pleading guilty to his involvement in this horrific conspiracy. His admission wasn't just a general acknowledgement of wrongdoing. Bedra specifically confessed to mailing a thumb drive containing 64 videos of monkey torture to a co-conspirator in Wisconsin. But that thumb drive was merely the tip of the iceberg. As the case unfolded, authorities uncovered a mountain of evidence that painted a clear picture of Bedra's deep involvement in this cruel network. This week, the hammer of justice finally fell. Bedra was sentenced to 54 months in prison. That's 4.5 years behind bars. But that's not where his punishment ends. After serving his time, he'll be subject to 3 years of supervised release. This sentence sends a clear message. Our justice system takes these crimes seriously. The statements from legal officials involved in this case are particularly striking, highlighting the gravity of Bedra's actions. Assistant Attorney General Todd Kim didn't mince words when he said, "Defendant Ronald Bedra commissioned grotesque videos of torture of juvenile and baby monkeys. Such appalling conduct has no place in our society." This powerful statement underscores the sheer brutality of the crimes and the moral repugnance they invoke. U.S. Attorney Kenneth L. Parker also weighed in, emphasizing that even though Bedra didn't personally carry out the physical acts of torture, his role in commissioning and promoting the videos made him equally culpable. This perspective is crucial, as it sends a clear message that those who fuel demand for such content are just as responsible as those who create it. The FBI's Special Agent Elena Yatarola from the Cincinnati field office described the case as disturbing, cruel, and illegal, reinforcing the FBI's commitment to protecting animals from such horrific abuse. These official statements collectively paint a picture of a justice system united in its condemnation of these acts, reflecting society's broader intolerance for animal cruelty. Now let's delve into the broader impact and implications of this disturbing case. It raises a multitude of ethical and legal questions that we, as a society, need to grapple with. First and foremost, we're confronted with the dark side of technology. Encrypted messaging apps designed to protect our privacy are being weaponized by criminals to orchestrate heinous acts. This case forces us to confront the delicate balance between personal privacy and public safety. How do we ensure that these tools aren't misused without compromising the legitimate need for secure communication? The global nature of this crime is equally troubling. It highlights how easily criminals can exploit differences in international laws and enforcement capabilities. Bedra, sitting in Ohio, was able to commission acts of cruelty halfway across the world in Indonesia. This interconnectedness presents a significant challenge for law enforcement agencies worldwide. Speaking of law enforcement, this case underscores the critical role they play in combating such crimes. The collaboration between the FBI, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Homeland Security investigations was crucial in bringing Bedra to justice. But it also raises questions about the resources and tools available to these agencies. Are they adequately equipped to tackle these technologically sophisticated, globally distributed networks of animal abusers? Moreover, this case shines a light on the urgent need for stronger animal protection laws and their consistent enforcement across borders. It begs the question, how can we create a global framework to prevent and punish such acts of cruelty, regardless of where they occur? Ultimately, this case serves as a stark reminder of the hidden corners of human depravity and the ongoing challenge we face in protecting the most vulnerable among us, including animals who cannot speak for themselves. Now, I want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on this disturbing case? Do you think the 54-month sentence was appropriate? Or should it have been longer? How can we as a society work to prevent such heinous acts of animal cruelty? And what role do you think technology companies should play in monitoring and reporting these kinds of activities? Your perspectives matter, so share them in our community forums or on social media using the hashtag #RealCrimeDiary. As we wrap up today's episode, let's reflect on the disturbing case of Ronald P. Bedra and the monkey torture videos. This shocking story highlights the dark underbelly of online communities and the urgent need for stronger animal protection laws. It's crucial that we continue to discuss and confront these issues, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. I encourage you all to support organizations working tirelessly to prevent animal cruelty and advocate for stricter penalties for abusers. If you want to stay informed about similar cases and dive deeper into true crime stories, make sure to subscribe to our podcast. Your support helps us shed light on these important issues. Until next time, stay vigilant and compassionate. Power, Pleasure, and Pain. A study of abuse through time. This book provides a detailed examination of how sexual violence and power dynamics have manifested across different historical periods, from ancient civilizations to the modern era. It explores how figures in positions of power used their influence to manipulate and exploit others, showing that the patterns of abuse we see today have deep historical roots. Many people struggle to grasp why abuse of power, particularly sexual violence, persists in modern society. By connecting historical events with contemporary cases, the book offers crucial insights into why such behaviors remain prevalent. The book analyzes infamous cases such as those of Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Dominique Pellicotte, drawing parallels between them and historical figures. This section highlights how the systemic abuse seen in recent times is not a new phenomenon, but part of an ongoing cultural issue. Through the lens of these modern examples, readers will gain a better understanding of how institutions, wealth, and power have historically shielded perpetrators from justice, contributing to their ability to continue harming others. The book explores the philosophy of libertarianism, particularly through the works of Marquis de Sade, to explain the disturbing ways in which pleasure, power, and cruelty have been intertwined. This provides readers with a deeper philosophical context to interpret modern-day scandals. Unlike other studies that focus solely on historical or contemporary cases, this book uniquely blends both, offering a full spectrum of how abuse is tied to power dynamics. It stands out by making philosophical connections that help readers understand the deeper societal issues at play.